What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we dive into day number 25 of our free-to-play challenge as we get to the tail end of our overall challenge, as we get into the final few days of what we've been doing for the past month here in MTG Arena. Starting out with a free-to-play account, going ahead and creating at least one definitely strong competitive deck, while at the same time we've also completed and also made some other decks here in MTG Arena. We're definitely doing pretty well when it comes to ranking for the most part. We're at platinum in both limited and constructed, which is definitely good. That kind of gives us the maximum amount of, card art that we'll get at the end of the month. We'll get 3 packs from each if we don't go any higher in either of the ranks. And then we'll also get 1,000 gold, which is a decent boost in overall currency, which is definitely good. And it's definitely one of those things, this is going to be that point, as we get into the final days of the challenge, where we have to start making some decisions, even not just here on this account, but on maybe on my main account and stuff like that, is whether or not I'm going to be investing into anything currently, or I'm going to hold off at least until Dominaria United, kind of see where the meta shifts as a whole. It doesn't seem like we will be getting a standard 2023 queue like we've had in previous years, where we kind of get like a preview queue to like kind of play test out some decks to kind of get ourselves ready for the new release of Dominaria United and standard rotation in MTG Arena. At least from what I'm aware of, I don't see anywhere that they have stated that. But it also, the one thing I didn't notice while I've been doing this challenge is that I guess with Dominaria United, they actually did give us all the new decks. And yet again, these decks are all built for post-rotation. So it's definitely hard to really test any of them and really see how good they really are when it comes to just jumping into games and kind of see how well they can do. Just off the bat, just a couple of decks that kind of look, stand out as being decks that probably will be something that you could probably build around. It would probably be your Ignite the Forge, which is just going to be a Rakdos Anvil deck, which is definitely a strong deck, I think, in general, and definitely could look like to be one of those top decks in the meta post-rotation. You have On the Hunt, which is a werewolf style deck, and then you also have your your ninjutsu style deck, or your ninja deck, which is definitely also very good. And just because those decks, to me, those stand out right now because there are decks that are built around these 3 archetypes currently in the meta. It doesn't mean that any of these decks are kind of like pointless to build around. Definitely one of those things when you have much limited card pool. Playing around mechanics is definitely a good way to build a deck, just because you have limited cards, and having cards that have very good synergy with one another are definitely decks that are ways to go in the meta. It's kind of like that thing like last year. It was kind of like a big deck that when rotation happened, that Party was actually like a really good archetype as a whole. So it's definitely one of those things that just because like Samurai Warriors aren't like really a deck now, it's possible when rotation happens that they could be a good deck. So definitely to keep an eye out. Maybe we'll get surprised and they'll be like, oh wait, we forgot to talk about standard 2023 queue, and that we're gonna get it. But because of this renewal thing here, the article that at least that includes the rotation stuff didn't include anything there. So as of right now, it looks more unlikely than likely that we'll get that this year. So definitely unfortunate, but you just got to continue on and just kind of play standard the way it is currently, at least for the next month or so, until we get closer to Dominaria. So in today's video, we'll be diving into doing another standard event, but this time we're going to be actually diving into it with our Rakdos Anvil deck. It is definitely a deck that I've grown to enjoy playing here in MTG Arena. It's definitely a deck that I do see us doing fairly well with, just because I do think when it comes to playing like in events and stuff like that, you want a deck that can be grindy. You're not looking for a deck that's trying to win games quickly like you would for like a ladder climber deck like a Boros aggro. So we'll definitely see how our deck turns out when we dive into more of a competitive style game where the wins really do matter. We need to really try our best to at least grind out the games, and really depending on how long it takes us to play, how many games we have to play to get to whatever win war we'll do. I'll see how much of that footage I want to include here in the video, just because the Rakdos Anvil deck is definitely on the slow side when it comes to games being played. So each game could take anywhere from like 10 minutes sometimes or more. So it's definitely one of those things that we don't win very quickly when we do play it. So it's definitely I'm not trying to make the video be 2 hours long of just us grinding out our standard events. So I may just do interesting games for the most part. May just do the victories. If there's interesting games that we even do lose, I may do that just because maybe there was a way that I could have done something differently to possibly win. But with that out of the way, I am going to just dive into our standard event. I am going to select our Rakdos Anvil deck if I can find it. Oh, I'm in starter decks. I was like, why do I not see our deck? So we'll grab our Rakdos Anvil deck. We'll hit submit deck. Our deck is, I think, as good as it's going to be with the way it is. So definitely one of those things that we'll definitely hopefully do decently well with. You know, if we finish 50%, I feel like that's very good because there are, you know, still some upgrades we can make in the deck, like when it comes to land base and also maybe a couple more additional rares and our mythics. So definitely, you know, some improvement for our deck, but I do think it's still in a decent place that we could still hold our own pretty decently just because, you know, it did seem to do pretty well yesterday as we played in the standard rank queue. But with that out of the way, let's dive into some games and kind of see how we do. Open in hand's not great. You know, we're admittedly missing a lot here, but I feel like we can draw into it with our Deadly Dispute, so I think I'll keep, because, you know, it's decently having Meathook Massacre because we don't know our matchup. Okay. We're just going for it, aren't we? Sure. So looks like we're playing another Rakdos deck, maybe more of a Rakdos control. So definitely, you know, it's definitely going to be a struggle. Epicure was definitely a good card to have for us. That was going to help us maybe dig a little bit deeper into our deck because the blood token we could have sacrificed. Maybe Rakdos Anvil, or Rakdos Aggro. Definitely a good top deck. So we'll definitely play that, make them have to answer it. Definitely gets in the way. Definitely kill a decent amount of things. There's a possibility that they're going to also just go ahead and kill it, which is fine because now they're down to 3 cards and, you know, we're definitely in a good spot here. So we'll play Epicure and we'll say go because we can definitely throw it in front of something and block. Sure. Shakedown Heavy, perfectly fine. A Kamano is also fine. We'll block and then sack. And they're down to literally 1 card. So definitely, you know, possibly going to turn around. You know, we're not out of it yet, but definitely, you know, not bad regardless. We'll play our Anvil. We'll play our Reactor. And we will not sacrifice that. We'll sacrifice our blood token, create a 1/1, get a token, and definitely now, you know, turned it around just a little bit. They could have another creature here. They may not have another creature. That's perfectly fine. They're blitzing. They're just trying to put as much pressure on us as quickly as possible. So definitely one of those things that we got to look out for. Let that resolve. We'll let them draw a card, and then we'll pass the blockers. We'll block the 4/3. We take 2. That's fine. They're gonna draw another card, but they're paying life to do this, so it's definitely good for us in that regard. So I could Anvil, get rid of their board, and then all they can do is whatchamacallit here. But I think I'm going to play the Harvester. And I think I'm actually just going to sack a blood token. You know what? We're actually going to... We'll just sack the treasure. I'll keep the blood token out. And I think I'm just going to play this for 0. Because now if they play their Shakedown Heavy, we're going to actually just, we're going to draw a card here. Sure. So they're really trying to go in. Perfectly fine with us. We're going to put a counter on that, which is definitely interesting. We could take 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll decline. I'll take 8. I'll lose 2. I'll gain 1. So not bad there. So we have 4 mana. We gain a life. We'll submit this. We'll kill the Raiju. Get a token. We'll gain another life. And we'll say end turn. Sure. Not really getting anything back from our graveyard, so not the worst for us. We gain a life, we lose a life. We'll take the action, let them untap, we'll pass the blockers. Block here, we'll drain. We'll pass the damage. Perfectly fine. They're at 10 as well. I think this is where I meat hook. For 4. And we wipe their board. We gain 3 life. We'll keep the one that we just played. And we'll make a creature. And we'll say go. And they may actually try to play... Okay, another trespasser, perfectly fine. They're definitely not draining us quickly. A land. Maybe they were thinking about casting it. I'm not really sure. We will play our witness. We'll drain. We'll say go. We'll see what they do. Definitely very interesting for them, I think, overall. They may just go ahead and play. That's fine. Drain us, I guess. Sure. Sure. Pass the blockers. Submit 0. We'll gain a life. So we don't exile our stuff, so that's perfectly fine with us. And then we get a card that we can play until the end of our next turn. Voltage Surge is good. Reactor is good. We'll get rid of their land. We'll submit 0. Now they're definitely in a weird predicament a little bit. I mean, they're slowly they can slowly drain us here, and they could take 2. That's fine. We'll take 5. They lose 1. We don't have any real. I don't think we really have any creatures left. I think we literally have a card or 5 cards. Sure. So we're at 3. I'm gonna sack itself because I need the creature. Say go. I probably shouldn't have played that land now thinking about it. That's fine. I'll just kill it. It was a close game. Definitely, you know, we didn't really get a lot of artifacts there, but it's definitely, you know, something we could have won. Definitely, if we would draw a little better after the game kind of went on, we kept a hand that was, you know, if maybe not having that epic here in turn 1 changed the outcome of the game, but I think it was a game that we possibly could have won. We're on the play. Hand's not bad. I mean, I wish it could be better, but I think it's okay. Yeah, might as well get the tap land out of the way. Just because that's going to slow us down. I might as well play it slow, I guess. I think I just play this. And I'll play this. We'll see what happens. Because next turn we could be the aggressor. Right? Because now we can pay 1, sacrifice, and now we swing for 5. So I would say we're kind of squishy here. They could technically Meathook Massacre if they wanted to and just kind of wipe the board. Announcement's fine. We'll decline. We don't need to pay that. We'll just continue to put the pressure on them, see if they want to block. Sacrifice. We'll draw some cards, get a mana. We'll deal 2. We'll say go. Hand's still looking pretty good. We're definitely in a good spot here, I think, overall. Sure. My turn. All right, we'll play Synthesizer. We'll draw a card. It's Takenuma. I guess we'll play it. We'll play another one of these guys. We'll go to combat. We'll auto pay. We'll sacrifice that. Get a 3/1. We'll get another 1/1. We'll swing for 5. Sure. Make sure to kill both of them because they're going to grow next turn. And we'll say go. Meathook Massacre for 2 is perfectly fine. We'll get some cards to play, which is always good. Lands are fine. So at 14, you get a token. Sure. We'll shock that one so they have nothing on the board. We'll submit 0. Deal 2. We'll lose a life. We're fine. We'll sack the Synthesizer. We'll play Haunted Ridge. We'll just sacrifice our Deadly Dispute. Draw a little bit deeper. We'll Epic here. I guess Synthesizer's fine. We'll see what we draw. Sure. Still not a bad board. You know, we got presence. We can still, you know, we can shock things. So we definitely can put pressure on them. Another wet announcement's fine. I'll shock for 2 again. Sure. We're at 20. We'll play Smelter again. We'll go to combat. Sure. It's perfectly fine with us. We go to attackers. We'll swing for 3. I will draw a card. Discard a card. Get a creature. And we'll say go. And Eaten Alive is very good. You know, they play big creature. We can get rid of it. Another Meat Hook for 1's fine. In response, we'll drain them for 1 just to cancel it. And now they only gain 3. And they still have yet to put really any pressure on us on the board. Sweet. We'll play another Anvil, which is perfectly fine. We'll sack our Synthesizer. We'll dig a little bit deeper. Get some tokens on the battlefields. Play another Synthesizer. We'll get our own Meat Hook, which we'll pay 0 for because there's no point. We'll say go. Sure. They're eventually going to get big creatures, I guess. That's fine. They have no cards in hand, so when they attack, they'll just have to drain it. Sure. Because we'll just block and chump, and then we'll drain them for 2. That's Ward of 1. Pay the 1. Sack. We'll get 2. Resolve it. We'll auto pay. Sure. We will sacrifice Synthesizer. Get another card. And we'll say go. Land? Sure. Perfectly fine. Drain it for 1. We take 6. We're at 19. That's not bad. We'll target this. We'll sack that. We'll get 2 tokens. Sure. I think we'll swing. Get that burn in. They're at 7. Sure. Surprised they're not actually going to do much with that. They're at 5. They get another token. Their creatures pump. I'm perfectly happy with that. I mean, technically, we just have to kind of slowly drain them out. And if they get rid of the Harvester, I'm not worried about it either. I mean, there's some stick. Say go. Sure. Draw all 4 copies. Do you want to do that? You're at 4. I can just swing back. Dig a little bit deeper. Not bad. We'll put Den of the Bugbear out. Sure. At 3. Sure. Definitely bold. Nothing happens. Drawing a card. -2 +1. Probably want to discard at this point. I want to do that. We'll see. Go. And we'll hold back because I want to make them make the first move. Sure. Nothing they have actually can technically kill us. Interesting. Conniving. We're conniving. Sure. Drawing, discarding. Definitely probably a tough decision. Sure. My triggers trigger first. On the play, hand's okay. It's not great, but it's okay. We'll make this red and we'll play our witness. you know, just put something out, you know, just in case we're playing a deck that that could be a problem. It looks like maybe it is Rakdos, so definitely have answers. Not the Rakdos I was thinking. All right. We'll attack. Put 18. Put a lot of pressure on him. Jeskai, sure. We'll kill their creature. Put him at 0. We'll play Harvester. Swing. We'll say go. Not sure exactly what kind of deck they are. It's possible that they're just kind of control, it looks like. A lot of disruption here. So definitely, you know, possibility that they can wipe the board at any given time. Darn, that's a card. Wait, why can't I attack that? Oh, it costs 1 more. Got it. I mean, I'll kill it. It's fine. Five mana? Sure. Goldspan Dragon's fine. Definitely a little behind here. Part of me is like, I have to kind of like kill the reflection because then they're just going to make a ton of gold spans. Gonna give me a card? Interesting. Alright. They have a negate. They discard it 1. They have 2 mana open, 3 cards in hand. I think we put pressure on them. There's some stick. Make a devil. And we'll make him discard. Is the best thing we can do here? I mean, if they make a copy of Goldspan Dragon, they get a lot of mana, sure. I mean, if I was probably them, I'd probably go for the Obs here, maybe? I probably should have used that mana, though. Sure. They have a ton of mana. That is the one problem. We only have 4 mana, which is not good for us. Like, even if they tap 2 mana here to draw with their Bank Buster, it's still not great for us. We'll play Harvester? I mean, everything until they tap their Bank Buster, they're gonna hold priority. I guess it's just a matter of what they want to do here. If they want to hold priority, I'll play my Anvil. I mean, that's the best we can do here. That's fine. Could I have done it differently? Maybe. I mean, I really just need mana, to be quite honest. There's not really much I can do. They're casting black mana? I don't know. I'll swing for 1. I have a free attack. I mean, to be quite honest, they just need to finish the game. I mean, they're relatively close here. They have like a Magma Opus. They have enough to Magma Opus and also probably do double Goldspan and get me really low. I guess they're concerned about my make it disappear. Not really the greatest draw for us in this situation, though. Sure. That was a hard conundrum they had to do. I'm just going to get out of here. There's not really much how we can do to get back just because they're too far ahead. And it's fine. Oh. This hand's pretty good. We're on the draw, though, which is not bad, but not, you know, it could be better. So I definitely keep. Definitely gonna be pretty decently effective. It's just a matter of what our opponent's playing in this position. Because we can turn 1 Epicure, turn 2 Anvil, and then get a 1/1 and kind of get that going. Also that whole land thing, that whole dragon thing flying down, you know, it's a little you know, getting a little peek at our hand, you know. Not really a big fan of that. Looks like we're possibly playing Simic or possibly Temur. Not sure. Temur control? Is that a thing? See, to me, this almost seems like there's something here, so we're just gonna kind of take it slow. Because it could be possible that they have, like, counter mana open, and they're waiting for, like, a non-creature spell, because I think they do play that card that gives, you know, advantage. Sure. I don't get my card. No. Sure. Not a land. But they're tapped out, which is good. They could get mana, which is not good. It's definitely a tough spot to be in because we only got 2 mana. And it's like I can cast Synthesizer and try to get a land. But if I don't get a land, then I only have 1 mana and I don't know if I can cast anything. So I think the play is to create a little bit of board presence. So worst case scenario, they attack into what we got going on here. Now they have to figure out if they want to discard or not. All right, so it looks like they're like Temur control is the best way to put it. Maybe they play like Goldspan Dragon. I'm not sure. Maybe they play what's that card? The 7-drop, the 7/7 that you choose to put a shield counter and gain some life. Sure. I guess they're really concerned about my my 1/1s and they want to remove them. I mean, it's not, you know, there's a possibility of more artifacts. All right. And no attack. Interesting. We'll sit back. I mean, we're still sitting on 2 mana here, so I don't really know what our opponent's trying to do. Sure. I mean, we should have a pretty decent chance to draw some land here. 40% chance. We haven't drawn a single one, and once we kind of get that land going, then maybe we could be the aggressor. We just got to slow our opponent down, though. That's the big thing we got to do here. I think next turn we have to Synthesizer just to kind of dig. All right, they get a land. They get a whole creature land. Sure. All right, so they want a ramp. I'll take that block. And still no land. RIP us. No land. Really? You're gonna do me like that and not give me a land? Alright, I mean, it is a land. It's not a great land, but it is a land regardless. Yeah. Good old Titan of Industry. Definitely an uphill battle here. I guess they're being the aggressor. Not really sure. They're tapped out, so what can I do? Because I really need to get rid of that Titan. I mean, I could kill their no. Yeah, I mean, that's the best I can do, being mana screwed in this situation. It's not great. It's not like they really played good. It's just that we got mana screwed, and I think it's a different game if we literally have one more red mana. Like, I don't understand how we're drawing this terribly. Oh, man. It's not good. Sure. Oh my god. Well, our standard event didn't go so well. I would really attribute it more so to the fact that we really didn't get good hands in some of the games. We kind of got mana screwed, especially in that last game, literally only getting one red source. And for a while, we were just literally sitting at 2 mana, which is not something we want to ideally be in our deck. We want to make sure we at least have probably like 4 or 5 mana sources. But, you know, getting a few more is definitely not that bad. I mean, I think I played 24 lands in the deck, so it's not like I'm not playing a good minimum for the deck. Okay, maybe 21, which, you know, is maybe another issue. Maybe we got to step that up. Maybe we got to go to, like, I don't know, maybe we got to go to 24, and maybe we got to cut a couple more cards. Just because I felt like, even though our curve is not super high, it just, we weren't drawing the hands that we needed to draw in some of those situations. You know, having that like every, you know, 2 in every 5 draws is definitely a land, is definitely one of those things. But even in that last game, we really didn't draw too well. But like I said, you know, a deck that only runs 21 lands, and you know, we have ways of generating, you know, ways to dig in our deck with, you know, sacrificing blood tokens. We can, you know, Deadly Dispute and stuff like that. It's definitely still strange that we didn't really curve out too well. But nonetheless, I still think the Rakdos Anvil deck is good. Like, you know, it's still a work in progress. It's not complete, but it's definitely, you know, one of those things that I do think it overall can be a pretty decent deck. Even against that last matchup, I think we could have had it. Maybe had our land draw been a little bit differently, just because I do think our opponent did get a good amount of, you know, momentum on us, just because they were just ahead on mana. We just couldn't really do much. We had to just play something, and that was kind of it. And then we had to say go. Where if we had multiple mana sources, we probably could have played more. I will have to kind of grind out 3 more wins here in Arena. I'll probably do that off camera, but, you know, we're just going to go to 4 wins. We'll get some additional gold. We didn't really walk away with really any gems, which is unfortunate, but, you know, yet again, you know, you win some, you lose some. Sometimes you have a bad round of games. One problem with playing best of 1 is that you're kind of stuck with the game you have. You really can't make that up in game 2 and 3 like you would in traditional Magic. So definitely, you know, we'll come back. Maybe try it again with the Rakdos Anvil deck. Maybe come back with a couple improvements to the deck by the time we roll around again. First and foremost, probably going to upgrade the mana base, maybe go to 22, 20, somewhere between like 23 or 24 lands, I think is going to be good there. But like I said, guys, you know, this is definitely that thing. We're getting to the tail end of this series. Definitely have learned a lot, you know, about that new player experience. I mean, I hope you guys from watching these videos have learned a lot. It's definitely one of those things that, you know, like when you're a player who's been playing MTG Arena, I guess I've been playing Magic for 20 years, but I've, you know, been covering content in MTG Arena for the past like 2.5 years now. It's definitely one of those things you kind of, you know, they do things to the game that you don't really understand until you really dive back in yourself and kind of try them out for yourself. But I do think, you know, the new player experience could use some improvements just overall. There are ways that, you know, we kind of, you know, found our way through the system, getting a lot of free packs that kind of give you a boost to your collection, maximizing the best we could do in our jump-in events when we first started out, trying to get a lot of our wins there. Maximizing the daily wins in the first few weeks, trying to get to that 15 wins daily was definitely kind of, I think, a good benefit just because of the ICRs you get after the 5 wins. Definitely helped us build a collection that way, getting lucky with getting some decent rares that kind of helped us build the decks that we do have currently. But yeah, you know, it's definitely one of those things that I do think maybe down the road we'll dive into again. I'm not saying this is the final video of the series, but I'm just kind of saying, you know, just kind of wrapping the video up, kind of talking about the series just in general. I do think maybe we'll try to do this in a couple months, maybe when rotation happens, kind of see how, you know, with the newer cards and what people are playing in a post rotation standard, how things will change. Will there be a deck that's pretty easily accessible that newer players can jump into within the first couple weeks, kind of like how we did here in MTG Arena in my free-to-play challenge? But, you know, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. You know, it's definitely one of those things as we get towards the tail end of the series. It's definitely kind of hard to make these videos interesting just because, I mean, we're kind of limited on what we can do. I can't play a different deck every day. You know, I'm definitely limited on what challenges I can do. I don't know if I would really want to jump back into, like, say, jump in just because of Baldur's Gate packets being there. I'm not really a fan of the Alchemy Invading My Magic in that regard. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. It definitely helps out a lot. If you like the video, hit that like button. That also helps out a lot. If you're new here, you want to know post new videos on the channel like this one, hit that subscribe button. Until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Just want to give a special shout out to the channel members here on my YouTube channel. You can also become a channel member yourself down below the video, hitting that join button. It definitely helps out a lot, and I just appreciate you guys for your support.